I request our special guest, Shri Sunil K. Chaturvedi, Chief Executive Officer, Automotive Skills Development Council, ASDC, to present his address on skills. Welcome him with a big round of applause.
Good morning. Actually, I was not supposed to deliver any address as is being introduced. This session, as I was told, was supposed to be on skills in higher learning, which I was supposed to moderate. And as you know, the moderation is so much easier than speaking. So I really don't know, but I have been pitchforked into this situation. I'll do my best for the next 4 or 5 minutes. Of course, I do have few thoughts on skilling in higher education, which I think is the need of the times. In fact, it has been need of the times for past 50 years. But each decade passes and we keep saying that this is the need of the time. But my feeling is that India is on the cusp of socio-economic change of orbit, in my opinion, which from a medium-sized economy, which is moderate in quality and productivity, is on the cusp of going to the next orbit, which is much higher economic value addition based on a decidedly higher levels of productivity and quality in our goods and services. So from a modest, globally speaking, modest volumes of economic activity, which are defined by a moderate level of quality and productivity. Our products and services are really, from global standards, still modest in terms of quality. They are not poor, but they are not the best. Similarly, our volumes are not the largest in the world. Even countries like, not just the developed nations, but many of the emerging nations are clocking much higher level of economic activity. Now, this bridge from moderate levels to higher levels is, if there is one single biggest factor which contributes or enables that, it is skilled people all across the value chain of the economic activity, but more so in the higher learning, in my opinion. Consider this situation. People go to engineering schools, colleges, management colleges, which is almost what I call a social obsession in our country. Even in the villages and the hinterland of our country today, if you go and ask any of the parents, they would be very happy that if their son or daughter became a IT engineer or whatever. But they are not happy to see him or her becoming a high quality plumber or a high quality service technician or a high quality technician for media related devices or whatever you have. And yet that's the demand of the day. But what does that have to do with higher learning? I believe that once the economic activity goes into the next plane or next orbit, product development becomes the key driver. Today, most of the products and services in our country are what is called reverse engineered, which means somebody has developed that product or that service in the world somewhere else. We essentially either take up technology from there, pay for that, or collaborate, but essentially do what we call indigenization of that, adopt it in some cases, but there is no product development. There are exceptions, of course. And I believe that our industry, from where I come, that is the automotive industry, is one of the exceptions, that we do have a lot of product development. But compared to the situation globally and the opportunities, is still very, very minimal. So if we have to go to the higher orbit of activity, as I mentioned earlier, product development becomes a necessity. There has been such a revolution of IT, and this is Digital India, so we must talk of that also. There is such a revolution we have seen in the last 10, 15 years of IT. But come to think of it, these are services, by and large, almost entirely services. And even within services, they are the lowest range of services. So that's why you hear terms like cyber coolies, people who go and start working in the IT industry. A whole bulk of them are called cyber coolies. I don't like that expression, but it's a fact. Now, why is that? Because there is hardly any product development or innovation happening, even in IT sphere. So therein lies the opportunity. India itself is such a huge market, and with the passing of GST, economic unification has just been ushered in my opinion. It will throw up large opportunities. Now, to drive that, essentially you need to have skills in higher education. We keep talking about our MBAs, engineers, hardly employability is so low. People who pass engineering, not more than, although there are claims of individual organizations that we have 60%, 70%. Now again, by the way, placement does not have to be linked with employability. Companies, they have to hire, they will hire whoever is available. So people say that our 60% people got placed. That doesn't mean that 60% of them are employable. If you talk to industry who hire them, they routinely say that we hired whatever is available and now we will start training them. You look at places like Infosys, Wipro, all these IT companies, they had a lot of money and resources, so they created universities of their own. Mysore University of Infosys, that campus is celebrated. What they do is hire tens of thousands of people every year, not for their engineering skills, but essentially for some communication, some arithmetic, some logic. And then 2 years they put them in that campus. The real engineering education, so it becomes 4+2, if you ask me. Essentially that 2 years which they spent there should have been part of those 4 years. And what's missing is that the education part is so terribly delinked to industry's needs, and that's the need of the hour. And the way to do is, again, nothing new. Skills happen only when you have integration with actual live, practical, on the shop floor, on the services floors of the industries. So I'll just not elaborate any further on this. I thought, it will be important to convey this idea that our academia in our higher learning should essentially keep the academics out of that. There's too much of academics there. Try and fill it a little bit with skills, which essentially means the requirement of industry, which actually means working on live projects during their 4 years of working or 3 years or 2 years of MBA. And once that happens, you will see employability go up, and that employability actually relates directly to higher productivity, higher quality, which actually is the only thing which adds to value creation, and therefore higher standards of living is a result thereafter. I will not take any more time. Thanks very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you very much.